Hello and welcome to our project demonstration. My name is Vince Stoltz and I'm a first semester MA student in the Adult and Community Education program at Ball State University. And this video is for our EDAC634 class with Dr. Chang. I have my group member and teammate here with me.
And I'm Troy Rector. As Vince said, I'm also a first year master student and taken two other classes along with 634. And this is our project, our demonstration video for our project that we created during this semester.
Our project demonstration that we are introducing was crafted to display the way that we have gained knowledge about and utilized an understanding of transformational learning theory as a foundation for our program design through each project paper or step as we describe it in our project demonstration. By integrating these together to design a program based upon that theory of transformational learning. Our hope in our demonstration was to convey the underlying structure of the knowledge needed to design a program based upon a learning theory. In our instance, again, transformational learning theory, to reveal the process used to arrive at our solution.
And well, since this was a approach as a group, we hope in this video intro to briefly give you some inside information on how we accessed and how we synthesized the resources that were available for us to that we needed for our project. Understanding this process not only makes it easier for us to design various programs based on different theoretical frameworks, since we already have come to understand how this system works. We've designed the site that you can review to give insight to others on their quest to do the same kind of work that we were required to do. And then we hope that we've done that and make it easier for others as they go through the same steps that we've done over the last several months.
So here's our first step. So our demonstration site. And our first step in the literature review, we started with a topic selection, which was actually the theoretical framework we would use for designing our program. We explored this topic, transformational learning, through conducting this literature review.
And we had a choice of different topics as far as which learning theories and different things, and as it turned out, Vince and I were the only ones who selected transformational learning theory.
We chose peer-reviewed journals to get professional qualified sources by primarily using the EDAC database. We wrote up our findings and put together a list of implications then from the literature review that we would need for our design process. Answering the question from the syllabus, how can the main ideas, themes, topics inform the practice?
The process with lit review can be troublesome sometimes because you think you found a very credible source, and then as it turns out that it is a very weak review and it doesn't provide you the things moving forward, and you end up sometimes even having to go back and start from scratch and find other credible sources.
So the second step was the program review, was to look at these programs that use transformational learning theory in their own design to discuss models, conceptual applications that could be useful in our own design process. In other words, looking for features that could be applied to our program design.
And with it, again, it is sometimes trial and error. I think I got pretty lucky that I found a program that used a service learning project to emphasize one of the key fundamentals of transfer learning theory, and that's the self-reflection portion. So that service learning project in the program review we did from a college in New York, that was pivotal because obviously transfer learning theory was our whole design from the beginning, and we were able to piggyback and see that program and how it evolved and things from it that we liked. We wanted to do similar things in our program.
I chose to focus on the mycelium school, which at first glance was all about fostering connections or learning, but for me it was the underlying goal that helped to identify it as a transformational learning program. I knew that the founders were interested in Paulo Freire, who was a key transformational educator, and specifically his ideas for education that was rooted in emancipatory social change, conscientization, and further that ideas of facilitating learning, or this learning journey, which was at the core of their design, was rooted in supporting learners in their own transformative experience. And so we gathered together features from these programs that would be helpful. Step 3, moved on to the actual program design itself. We chose to do a cultural immersion experience as a catalyst for transformational learning. We centered it in the Arab Muslim community of Dearborn, Michigan, and chose some implications for practice from the literature review and from some features from the program review of service learning through New York Community College and from the Mycelium School to put into our own project. We used the knowledge that we gained from these previous steps to synthesize our own features. What you see here is probably even a better distillation of our actual program design than what we wrote up. Purpose, context, learners, objectives, rationale.
And with this program design, this is where the individual comes into play. You as individual, those who are watching this video, you as individual future educators or wherever you're at in your professional life, you put those personal touches on the different program aspects, whether it's you prefer a service learning project over a paper, over a self-study, or whatever it may be. And that's what I think the program design, that's where it is personalized as far as what Vince and we put our personal feelings, our personal likes into this portion of the entire process of designing a program.
Yeah. Absolutely, Troy. One of the challenges we found here was having to reevaluate our implications and feature choices. Especially problematic was those implications that were not really focused on practical application or that had missed the mark.
Yes, indeed it is.
This shows the importance of doing the previous 2 steps thoroughly and understanding how they connect to the overall process of the program design. The good thing is that we knew how to go back and correct some of these before moving on. However, the bad news is that when we wrote the design, we got wrapped up in sharing the discovery in our own rationale, and it kind of messed up the presentation of our program design.
A little bit of growing pains in it, but that's sometimes how we learn.
This is where better understanding of how the complete process from step 1 to step 4 helped to inform each step. Something in the future that we know now how to handle better. And having been through this process, we hope others can learn from us as well in the challenges that we had in this area. Our 4th step is actually the program evaluation. This overall process of building a program includes someone being able to evaluate how you've done on it. And each of us then chose someone that we believe could truly help us understand and critique what we were doing, giving us valuable insights into what we could do better and what we did well. And I'll just let Troy start off with his choice.
With mine, I sent it to my capstone professor, my undergrad, who is a highly distinguished professor at IUPUI, and Dr. Marianne Wilczek wears several hats over there, including the director of the American Institute of Thought. And so for me, that was huge to get her input, and I knew that she was going to be critical as because she does obviously evaluations on other professors of history within the IUPUI history department. And so I hesitated at first, but I knew that that's what we needed to do in order to get some good positive feedback and for the program evaluation to actually work the way it was designed. I knew I needed to put it out there to someone who was going to be critical, and Dr. Wokek did exactly what I hoped she would have done.
I chose Josh Arthur, someone I've known for many years. He's currently the ASAP Regional Director at Ivy Tech East Central Indiana, which is an accelerated associate's degree path there that he directs. I knew that he would understand our targeted learners and that he had years of experience in community building and cross-cultural context and leading cultural immersion and service learning projects. This was important for us to choose evaluators that could give honest, helpful feedback. We have now gone through the complete underlying structure and cycle of learning about program design based upon the theoretical framework. And it is most definite that this whole process is greater than the sum total of its parts. And the best way of understanding this is to see how each component connects to the other. We hope as others view this, especially if it's before they've begun the process, they can learn from our lessons and have a better chance of connecting each piece together.
And I think that it's, I wouldn't say ironic, I think it's part of education itself that we ourselves underwent a transformative learning process in the process of designing a program that used those same fundamentals. We had to use self-reflection, and we had to use other fundamentals of that same theory in our program design as we learned and as we grew as future educators.
Good point there, Troy. This brings to mind that the whole process is a group endeavor and a human endeavor, and with that you bring in struggles, communication issues, coordination, time schedule conflicts, differing perspectives, and all those interpersonal dynamics that can make a project program design additionally complicated. This takes you beyond the information, even knowledge of the process, and it roots it in something beyond the project of the classroom, which is kind of an additional component, though not expressly shown here, as part of the overall program.
Definitely, and definitely proud of the program that we designed, and I think I'm even more proud of the teamwork that came together and the relationship, and as fellow students that Vince and I, that grew over these months in this project.
Well, this brings us to the end. Take a look around our website here where the video is embedded to learn more, and follow our links to the program demonstration itself, where we share the overall process and link it together in the conceptual framework of the steps that we've taken. So thanks.
Yep, thank you.